Welcome back to the Safety Roadmap Podcast. Today, we'll be touching on a topic that's often brought up by those looking to secure their workplace from hazards and care about health and safety.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive. Today we're getting into something a little different. Forklift safety.
Forklifts.
I know, right? Not as flashy as some of our other topics, but trust me on this. It's way more interesting than it sounds.
Right, because we're not just talking like how to drive one. We're going deep into the actual science and the rules that keep these massive machines running right, safely, most importantly.
Exactly. We've got diagrams, safety guides, even some physics stuff. Who knew, right? And it's all translated, by the way.
Yeah, all the way from Arabic, which adds another layer to it, doesn't it? Thinking about how these machines are used globally.
It's like we see forklifts all the time, but how often do we really think about what goes into making sure they're safe?
And that's what's so cool about this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's about understanding those hidden complexities, the stuff we don't usually see. Like, take a look at this diagram of a Clarex C25 forklift. This thing is a beast.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at this thing, and honestly, I'm kind of intimidated. Like, that is a lot of metal.
Right. And it's handling even more weight on top of that. Which is a perfect segue into our next visuals.
Yeah.
We've got these infographics about common forklift hazards, flat tires, oil leaks, you name it. Stuff that might seem minor,
But with a machine this big, even a small problem could be a huge deal.
Exactly. Imagine a flat tire. Not a big deal in your car, usually. But on a forklift, carrying tons of stuff. Recipe for disaster.
And it's not just the obvious stuff either. Like, we're seeing a busted hydraulic hose here on this infographic. What happens then?
Think about how hydraulics work. It's all about pressure. So even a tiny leak can mess with the whole system. And when you're relying on that system to lift, a few thousand pounds, yeah, not good.
Suddenly those regular car maintenance things, they take on a whole new meaning.
Right. This isn't just about avoiding a breakdown on the side of the road. It's about preventing a major accident, which is why safe operating procedures are so crucial.
And speaking of which, these next infographics really drive that point home. Literally, look at this. Never use a forklift for anything other than its designated purpose. Seems obvious, but
people try it all the time. We're seeing examples here of what not to do, like using a forklift as a makeshift work platform. Huge no-no.
Yeah, it's like using a screwdriver to hammer in a nail. You might get it done, but it's not going to be pretty.
And you're probably going to hurt yourself. And that's the thing about workplace safety. It's not just about the rules themselves. It's about the culture. Do people feel pressured to cut corners? Or is safety truly a priority?
That's such a good point. Rushing to get a job done should never come at the cost of someone's well-being.
100%. It's about fostering an environment where everyone understands why the rules are there in the first place.
Okay, speaking of hazards and needing those rules, this next infographic is honestly a little scary. These blind spots on a forklift. Huge GE. We're talking like big enough to hide a car.
It's true. And in a busy warehouse where every inch counts. Yeah, those blind spots are a major risk. That's why spatial awareness is so important, not just for the operator, but for everyone nearby.
And it looks like they've got tech to help with that too, like infrared beams, warning lights, kind of like extra sets of eyes for the forklift, right?
Exactly. Because even the most skilled operator can only see so much. This tech helps fill in those gaps and alert everyone to potential dangers.
And then you've got those warning signs on the warehouse floor, too. It's like a whole system to keep everyone in sync.
Exactly. Communication is key. But you know what else is key? Physics.
Oh boy, here we go. Back to high school.
Think about it. You're dealing with these massive weights, lifted high in the air. It's not just about driving around. It's about understanding how those forces work.
Right, like how to keep the whole thing from tipping over.
Precisely. And that's where load limits and stability come in. We've got this infographic here explaining something called load moments. Ever heard of them?
Can't say that I have. Sounds ominous.
A little bit, yeah. Basically, it's not just about the weight itself. It's about how that weight is distributed.
Okay, so like a big heavy box is one thing, but if it's sticking way out on the forks, that's a problem.
Exactly. It's all about the center of gravity. Remember that from physics class?
Vaguely, it's like the point where the weight is balanced, right?
Yep. And the further out that center of gravity is from the forklift's base, the less stable the whole thing becomes.
Okay, so it's like a seesaw. The further out you go, the more leverage you have.
Perfect analogy. And just like on a seesaw, there's a tipping point. With forklifts, we call that the load moment. Basically, it's the relationship between the weight of the load and its distance from the forklift's fulcrum, which is basically the front wheels.
So if that load moment gets too big, the whole thing could topple over, even if it's technically under the weight limit.
Exactly. It's not just about the total weight, it's about where that weight is positioned. That's why this formula is so important. Safe lift, load moment, forklift moment.
So it's a constant balancing act, like literally.
Right. And that's where proper stacking techniques come in. It's like building a tower out of blocks. You wouldn't put the heaviest blocks at the top.
Or way out on one side. That's just asking for trouble.
Exactly. Each layer, each box needs to be positioned strategically to maintain that balance, especially when you're lifting these things several meters high.
High stakes Tetris.
Haha.
Right, like having clear pathways, designated areas for loading and unloading.
Exactly. And check this out. The infographic mentions speed limits for forklifts. Think they're going fast.
Let me guess, not really.
Nope. We're talking like 4-8 kilometers per hour max.
Wow, that's like a brisk walk.
But even at that speed, a forklift can do some serious damage if it's not handled properly. It's about controlled movement every time.
So it's not just about the operator being careful, it's about everyone on the floor being aware.
Absolutely. Everyone plays a role in maintaining a safe environment. And speaking of which, these infographics are full of little reminders about common sense safety practices.
Things like what was it? Don't make any sudden stops or turns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And make sure the load is secure before you even think about lifting it. No one wants a pallet of, canned peaches raining down on their head.
Definitely not. Although that does bring up another point from these infographics. They don't sugarcoat the consequences, do they?
Nope. And that's a good thing, because the reality is when you're dealing with machines this powerful, mistakes can be really serious. That's why those guidelines about who's allowed to operate a forklift, they're non-negotiable.
Right, like it's not enough to just have a driver's license. This takes specialized training.
Exactly. It's like the difference between driving your car and flying a plane. You wouldn't just hop into a cockpit and expect to know what you're doing, right?
Not unless I wanted to crash and burn, literally.
Exactly. And even with proper training, human error is still a factor, which is why those guidelines about staying focused, avoiding distractions, those are so important.
Because even a small mistake could have huge consequences.
Precisely. A moment of distraction in a car might lead to a fender bender. A moment of distraction on a forklift. That could be life or death.
It's a good reminder for all of us, really. Whatever we're doing, our attention matters, our awareness of our surroundings, it can make all the difference.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And, when you look at all these safety guidelines together, a pattern emerges. It's not just about reacting to things that go wrong. It's about preventing them in the first place.
Being proactive.
Yes.
Thinking ahead.
Exactly. And that requires a certain mindset, right? A culture of safety where everyone feels empowered to speak up, to point out potential hazards.
It's like we talk about hidden complexities a lot on this show, and forklift safety. That's a perfect example. It's not just about driving a machine. It's about physics, communication, human behavior.
And a whole lot of engineering.
Exactly. It makes you appreciate all those systems we don't even think about. All the things that have to work perfectly to keep things running smoothly.
And safely.
Right, safely. Well, this deep dive has definitely given me a new perspective. Who knew there was so much to learn about forklift safety?
It's amazing what you find when you start digging, right?
Absolutely. And on that note, we'll leave you with this. If something as seemingly simple as a forklift requires this much thought, this much care, what about all the other machines and systems that keep our world moving? What hidden protocols are at work behind the scenes? Something to ponder, right?
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Thanks for sticking with us until the end of this episode. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen and engage with our content. If you found value in what you heard today, please don't forget to hit that like button. It helps us reach more people and lets us know we're on the right track. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow our channel so you never miss an upcoming episode. We've got some great topics lined up that you won't want to miss. Lastly, if you know someone who could benefit from this information, why not share the video with them? Spread the knowledge and help your colleagues stay informed. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.